Привет, everybody! In this episode, we're gonna learn how to pick up an item, go around with it, and drop it. Looks nice, right? Let's see how it works. So, before we start with this episode, I want to tell you that in order to implement this mechanics, you need to get the original interaction system script, which you'll find in my old videos. Or I'm gonna put the link or the pop-up window up in here or here, I don't know where, so you can access it. It's called the interaction system. Okay, so in the interaction system, we've built two types of items, like two types of interactions of items. One of them is when you pick it up to your inventory, the second one where you examine it. But we're going to create a third one, which is going to be, what should we call it? I think I call it grabbing or grab. Because pickup is used, I'm going to call it grabbable. Okay, I'm just going to call it grab. You know what? That's it. We're going to call it grab, and what's going to do is it's going to allow us to, let me zoom in. For example, it's going to allow us to pick up a box and we move and we click a button again and we can drop it. So it's basically for the sake of, let's say you wanna, you have some sort of like, you know, this kind of a clicking stuff where you have to grab something and then you put it on that button and it's opens a door and then blah, something happens. So you can use it on whatever you want. I'm gonna just apply the basic mechanics, and whatever you want to do with it, you're up to, you just go crazy. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to create a script. Actually, we don't have to create anything. We have to go into the item script, open it. Again, you'll find it in my interaction system video. And you'll see in here, we've got two types of interactions, a pickup and an examine, which are here. So we're gonna make another one, call it grab drop, just to make sure that it covers the whole purpose. So when we have this, we have a different mechanic. And different mechanic means different thing to do when we interact with it. And what by interact I mean is whenever I click, in my video it's clicking E. So I come close to an item, I click E, I interact with it. If it's a pickup, I pick it up. If examine, I examine it. If it's grab and drop, I just grab it. And I click again and it will drop it. That's it. Simple. Interaction type dot grab drop. So first of all, let's add the break. Here we're gonna do the logic step by step. We're gonna say um, just grab interaction. In here, we're just gonna cause it to grab or drop. So we're not gonna do it in here. We're gonna do it inside the interaction system here, or probably the item. We'll see where the best place to do it, because what I think is it has to be done inside the item itself in here. But yeah, yeah, interaction system. Never mind. So in here, we'll do everything in this place. So if you come from a previous video, you'll know that this script handles everything that relates to interaction, from picking up, interacting, detecting, examining, and all. So we're gonna do something here called public void grab drop. All right. So in here, what I'm gonna do is check if we are not grabbing, if we have nothing. Okay, check if we have nothing grabbed, drop it. Check if we oh wait, I think I wrote this. I think let me write it. If we have nothing grabbed, grab the detected item. So if we have nothing on our hand, we just grab the item. If we do have a grabbed item, let's say object, drop it. Simple. So now you tell me how do you know that you have something grabbed or no? It's quite simple. By default, we have nothing grabbed. We have empty hands. But then we're going to create a Boolean call is grabbing. And by default, it's false. You don't have to write false, but because Booleans by default come as false. So we keep that thing up there, and we have to check if is grabbing else. So this does it. If we're grabbing something, we drop it. Otherwise, we grab it. But since we wrote the comment in here, if we don't have anything, let's just switch him here, put this one here, and put that one in here. Whoops, in here. So if we have something grabbed, drop it. Wait, man, this source code is good. Ignore these stuff. These are something weird with the Visual Studio code, but it's working. Everything's working fine. So what we need to do in here, we need to add another object, game object, call it grabbed object. Here, public game object grabbed object. So if this object is grabbed, we have to do the following. Let's go from start if we have nothing grabbed. So what's going to happen technically, I'm going to actually play it and then I'm going to explain that by moving things manually, and then I'm going to explain the logic. So if we play the game here, say this is our fox. Oh, come on. Okay, good, good. This is our fox. Let's go to the object of the fox, right? Let's create a sprite and let's give it, would we have something that we can grab here? You know what, let's use this. Whoa. Where is it? I think it's outside. Yeah, it's outside. Never mind. So we have this thing. Let's put it here. Make sure it's a bit smaller. It's too big. Here we go. Let's add box collider, of course, because we need to be collided with. And let's make sure it's trigger. This is also up to you. You want to have this thing to be collided with the player or no. But in my tutorial, I'm going to keep it trigger so I can move inside it, because that's how the interaction system works. And the last thing would be rigid body. Here we go. So we have this thing. Okay, I blew it. Something is happening here. So what would happen here is we have it here. Oh, I know why. Let's keep it this way. Rigid body 2D. So it fell on the floor. Now it's fine. So whenever I move it up, it falls down. This is also optional, but I'm gonna remove it or keep it. It's up to you. I'm gonna remove it. Never mind. So this one comes here. It's interactable. What's gonna happen is, let's say it's right here, and I come as the fox and click E. So it will become part of the player, which technically will be like this. And whenever I move, it moves with me. I mean, it should be slightly higher, like this, and then move with me. And then whenever I drop it, it will just go back to where it was. And that's it. It will come back to its own place without any problems. That's the theoretical way of applying this whole stuff. So what we're going to do is, first of all, enable the is grabbing boolean. Second thing is parent the grabbed object to the player. Third thing is, I think that's it. What else we do? That's it. Oh yeah, adjust the height, adjust the position of the grabbed object to be, like a to be closer to hands. This is also up to you. You can change that position however you want. But before we do this, we have to cache the, let's say, the y value of the object. Here we go. That's it. That's it. That's fine. And whenever we want to drop something, what we need to do is, first of all, unparent, make is grabbing false, and parent the grabbed object, set the y position to its origin, and oh, I forgot something here. Assign the grabbed object to the object itself. I don't know what I mean. So what we do is we make a grabbable false, we unparent it, and then we put it back in, and then we null the grabbed object reference. That's it. So let's do the whole object bit by bit. First of all, if we don't have an object, we grab it. That means is grabbing equals true. Correct? That's good. And then what we need to do here, in fact, we need to do this thing here first. We have to reference it. As you remember, I added something in here called grabbed object. So what it has to do is grabbed object equals a detected object. Simple, that's it. So we have this saved somewhere. We can access it right here. So what we do, grabbed object that transformed it parent equals player. Oh, wait, do we have a reference for player here? Or should I just go called fox? Yep, we should call the fox. Find game object of fox that transform that. That's it. I think, no. Yeah, I think I have, I think I need to actually write find game object because all the scripts are in the same place. So I just use the same object stuff. Yeah, I'm right, actually. So we have the fox and it includes all the scripts. Otherwise, you need to make a reference to your script. So we have the interaction system here. Inventory. Interaction. Yep. So that's it. So instead of doing this, we just go transform. So we assigned it parent, and we have to, we have to actually cache the value. So to cache it, we have to create some sort of a, like a public float. Again, I don't really like when everything is public, but I'm making everything public so we can see it in Inspector. But the proper practice is to have everything private, unless you want access from the Inspector. Grabbed object y value. Here we go. So grabbed object y value equals grabbed object that transform that position that y position. Adjust the position of the grabbed object to be closer to the hands. So what this does is for us to put the object in a proper place. So what we need to do is, instead of changing it every time or making any mathematical changes like y divided by 2, blah, 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 we just make another empty game object here. And we put it wherever your player's hand is put. So let's put it in here. I'll put it here, right? And call it grab point. That's it, grab point. And then we go to the script here. We look up this area. We make public transform grab point. And we go, we say grabbable grab object dot position that transform dot position local position, sorry, local position equals grab point dot local position. I'm going with local position because we're dealing with this with two objects who has the same parent. Okay, this will do deparenting, right? Now let's do the unparenting or the dropping. So first of all, we make is grabbing false, and we go grabbed object dot transform dot parent equals null. I'm gonna go with null, but if you have a separate game object where you store all you where you sort all your app items, please use it. And then we grabbed object that transform dot position dot y equals sorry. So what we need to do is now modify the y position. Since we cannot modify the position directly, there's two ways we can do it. We can either create a vector3 and then assign it properly there, or we can just assign it to a vector3 directly without creating it, getting the x and z, and then modifying the y, which I'm going to do right now. So we go position.new vector3. Here we go. We have to get, we don't need to change its x value, so we just have to pass the x. Let me just click enter here, because that looks nicer. And the y should be grabbed object y value, while the z also is going to remain the same. We're going to copy paste the same thing, that z. So we set the value to a new vector with the same x value, same z value, but the y will be changed. And last but not least, grabbed value equals null. I think this will do this part. Here, we're gonna go and call find game object of type interaction system. Again, we're calling this is in the object, like a cube, box, apple. So we have to search for the interaction system. We're gonna go with grab drop. I think we can do one thing here. Like we can, instead of using the grabbed object, no, it's fine. We're good. We are good. So we have this done. Let's give it a test. Let it load. Let's look for an object and then put it in front of the player and test it. Again, this is the first test. It's always first test have bugs. So let's create a sprite here. Call it, I don't know where else. What should we call it? First of all, where is it? It's here. Let's bring it here. Let's look for something that we can grab and drop. Maybe create. Yeah, let's use this one. Let's make it slightly smaller. Here we go. Let's put it here. Actually, I don't like this one. It looks like it's a crate. We need something that looks like a grabbing. I saw something here. Yeah, here. Yep. Okay, so we have this thing. What we need to do is, similar to all these stuff here, like the cherry and the lever, they are an objects that has the layer item. So first of all, we have to call it, let's call it box, okay? And give it the item layer. Next thing we need to do is, we need to make sure that it's interactable with the player. To interact with the player, as we remember in the interaction system episode, we have to add a box collider of type isTrigger. This will make sure that this object is interactable. And I think that's it. No, we have to add the most important thing, item. So when we add item, we have to give it a type, right? Like a grab, and it's static. So grab and drop, description, no need for the examine. Do we need to do anything with it when it's, when it triggers? Nothing, of course. So if you can see here, let's go back to the script, back to the Fox. So we'll go through the script step by step. So interaction system. So whenever we are, as you can see here, where is it? Detect object. Here we go. So whenever we are in a region of triggering, we assign the object and we make it, true, which means we can trigger interact the item. So, and then when that item is in our region of interaction, we check if we can press the interaction button, which here is E. As soon as we click E, we interact with the object itself, which is going to access the item object script and then do the interaction according to the type. So for us, it's grab and drop, and it's going to call this part, and this will do all these stuff. So before we finish it, let's go to the Fox, make sure that the things are set quite properly. So we have the grab point, we have to make sure it's assigned grab point, and the grabbed object is null because it's nothing. Let's save and play. Hopefully it works from the first time. I have no doubt that it's gonna fail. Okay. Guess something is lagging here. Okay, never mind. So if I move here, I click E, I grab it, I move, I drop it. Quite simple. I think it's working. Grab, drop. That's good. But I'm gonna have to show you something here. So let's say we have this cherry. Let's bring it over here. Whenever we're grabbing something, we have to make sure that any other interaction is not gonna happen. From that, what I mean is, if you are holding a box like this one, and you come across an item which you can pick up, if you click interact, it's not gonna pick up the item. It's gonna first, the most important thing is to drop what you have in your hand, and then you can interact with something. So that's why I brought this thing here. I want to show you that he's gonna pick up the item and drop this one as well, which is, I don't think is the good practice. So here we go. We pick this one up. If we come close to this thing here, see, he picked it up. Now he dropped this thing here. So that's I mean, that's bad. And by bad, I mean we should avoid interacting if we have a grabbed item. So let's look at the first thing we can do. So first thing we do is detect if an object, and we see if we have something detectable here. So to disallow here, we have to check if we are grabbing something, do nothing. Like, don't go anymore. So if is grabbing true, we just return. What this means is, if we have something on our hand, we don't interact with anything. But this is wrong if we keep it return. We have to just keep it here. If we have something grab nothing, do nothing. But it's not technically do nothing. We can say do not interact with other items. Drop the grabbed item first. So this makes much more sense. So before we actually interact with something, we need to drop the item, which means we here we have to do this part here. So we need to call this grab and drop. We go grab and drop. Again, this is all raw. I really suggest that you create a more sophisticated item as like a to have more steps, more logic. This is the rawest, the most raw logic you can use. What is this? Ah, return. Oh my God, I forgot. So because this object, this method returns a value, so I have to give a value of false, which means you cannot interact. That's fine. So let's give it a test now. If I'm not mistaken, I'll be able to grab this item, but if I come close to another item, I will have to drop this item first and then grab that item or pick up or examine, doesn't matter, whatever. Just interact with it. So here we go. So if I grab this item, oh, I did a mistake. Sorry. I should not put this thing in here. I should put it, whoops. I should put it on the interact here, in this place here. So whenever we click that button, I should do this logic, because what happens there is it's running an update. I mean, it's running all the time. Whoops. That's my bad. Yes, I know. We make mistakes. So what happens here, this keeps running all the time. I'm keep detecting stuff. If it's true, do something. If it's not true, drop it. So that means if we're always on the same object, it's gonna keep it grabbed. Here we go. It's gonna cause a lot of what I'm saying is a lot of interactions, like misinteraction with other stuff, because we don't need to detect other objects if we're grabbing something. I'll show you what I mean right now. So right now, if I click on the fox, you can see here the detected object is null. If I go left, it says cherry 1, and then it says box. So if I grab the object box, you can see the detected object box is still there. So if I drop it, it's fine. If I grab it, now we have something else called cherry. So now I drop the box, I pick up the cherry, I grab the box. Now we're doing good. So if I go here, I have to drop the box, open the lever. I have no idea what I've done. Did I pick up the lever? Oh my God. Yeah, I did pick up the lever. Yep, so that's it. We can grab objects, we can drop objects, we can jump. That's old. And that's it for our video. I know it was a bit long, but I need to go in details, and most of these things happen on the go. So that's the basic mechanics of picking up an object, grabbing them, and dropping them. If you liked it, hit the like and subscribe. Also hit the bell to get all the latest updates. And join our Discord channel. If you've got more questions, hit the comments below. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.